This is a Theo Von clip. He's got Sam Altman from OpenAI on. And his question is, how will people generate wealth if AI does everything? I know it seems like a simple premise, but there is this post-AI, post-AGI economic theory that's been bouncing around. Thank you, Sue. That's been bouncing around. And Sam Altman kind of, I think, is probably aware of it. He's the head of OpenAI. Certainly has a better grasp on it than Elon Musk does. And Elon Musk basically just repeats anything he says, right? Okay. But I have to, and I'm going to need you guys to be with me. I couldn't watch this by myself because the idea of Theo Von talking about AI is right up there with Glenn Beck talking about.
Say we're able to get to that space, right? Like the movement that happens with AI and with just technology, which will advance quicker, I think, which is one thing that AI feels like to me. It's a fast forward button on technology and on possibility, because information can be quantified so quick, and a lot of like more menial tasks, even though they're not really menial in people's lives.
Yeah, they are. Also quantified?
But menial, hypothetically, can be done quicker to get a lot of the framework for things done fast. But how will people survive? Like, how do we adjust our structure of like, if some people own the companies that have the AI, and then a lot of people are just using the AIs and the agents created by AIs to do things for them. How will society, like societal members, still be able to financially survive? Will there still be money? What is that?
Societal members. I love when people use big words or try to use what's effectively more intellectual, the higher intellectual level of the vocabulary, and because they know they're talking to a smart person, so they're trying to talk up to that. Right? Societal members.
Does that make any sense, that question?
It totally makes sense.
Okay, sorry.
I don't.
What will people do for a job if AI takes away a lot of the jobs? Same thing with automation. We've experienced this in a bunch of other areas. Machines taking jobs that were once done by humans. It certainly, it was a transition people could make to other jobs because they couldn't all be done. But this looks like it can do everything. So what happens then? Was that so difficult? All right.
No, neither is anybody else, but I'll tell you my current best guess.
Okay.
Well, I'll say two guesses. One, I think it is possible that we put, GPT-7 or whatever in everybody's ChatGPT. Everybody gets it for free. And everybody has access to just this like crazy thing such that everybody can be more productive, make way more money. It doesn't actually matter that you don't like own the cluster itself, but everybody gets to use it. Mm-hmm. And it turns out even getting to use it is enough that people are like getting richer faster and more distributed than ever before. That could happen. I think that really is possible. There's another version.
On the other hand
of this,
which really comes to mind as I'm sitting across from you, Theo,
where the most important things that are happening are these systems are discovering, new cures for diseases, new kinds of energy, new ways to make spaceships, whatever. And most of that value is accruing to the like cluster owners, us, just so that I'm not dodging the question here. And then
I love how they put an AI cluster owner is an individual or entity responsible for the design, deployment, management, or ongoing maintenance of an AI computer cluster. Thanks. Yeah, we know the heads of this particular industry.
I think society will very quickly say, okay, we got to have some new economic model where we share that and distribute that to people. I used to be really excited about things like UBI. I still am kind of excited, like universal basic income, where you just give everybody money.
Yeah, you hear that term a lot. Yeah, universal basic income. Yeah, I heard you and Rogan talk about that too a while back.
I still am kind of.
Yeah, I heard you. You said, I heard that, I heard it said. I've heard those letters said. What?
Excited about that, but I think people really need agency. Like they really need to feel like they have a voice in governing the future and deciding where things go. And I think if you just like say, okay, AI is going to do everything, and then everybody gets like a, dividend from that, it's not going to feel good. And
yeah, look at Alaska.
And I don't think it actually would be good for people. So I think we need to find a way where we're not just like, if we're in this world where we're not just distributing money or wealth, like I I don't just want like a check every month. What I would want is like a ownership share in whatever the AI creates, so that I feel like I'm participating in this thing that's going to compound and get more valuable over time. So I sort of like universal basic wealth better than universal basic income. And I think I don't like basic either. I want like universal extreme wealth for everybody. But even then, like I think what people really want is the agency to kind of co-create the future together. And
that from Theo Von was him not understanding what was just said at all. And in his defense, it is, I won't say it's bullshit, but this is bullshit adjacent. You can tell because they're both looking at the ceiling.
And in a world where it's like the AI is mostly coming up with the new scientific inventions.
Will AI run crypto, says Anonymous? No, AI will destroy crypto. It will vacate the value of crypto some date in the future, maybe 2 years, maybe 3 years away. It will be destroyed in an afternoon.
At least we've got to still have humans like invent the new culture and have that be a very distributed thing.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes. I see what you're saying, but would that be like
No, he does not.
an American thing, do you think? Like, since it were invented here, or do you think? I'm just wondering, what does that look like? You know,
The economic model of it all, or the whole thing?
yeah, or is there a dividend of the company that's in is divided up between the masses, sort of?
I mean, a crazy idea, but in the spirit of crazy ideas, is that if the world, there's like roughly 8 billion people in the world, if the world can generate.
I want to, you know what I really want to do? I really want to do a cut of this where I'm just up on the ceiling, suspended, just holding myself, like, with like sweat dripping on the end of my nose. And every time they look up at the ceiling, just cut to me going,
Generate like 8 quintillion tokens per year. If that's the world, actually, let's say the world can generate 20 quintillion tokens per year.
Tokens of
Like each word generated by an AI.
okay,
Just making up a huge number here.
Okay.
We'll say, okay, 12 of those go to, the normal capitalistic system, but 8 of those, 8 quintillion tokens, are going to get divided up equally among 8 billion people. So everybody gets 1 trillion tokens. And that's your kind of universal basic wealth globally. And people can sell those tokens. Like if I don't need mine, I can sell them to you. We could pool ours together for some like new art project we want to do. But instead of just like getting a check, everybody on Earth is getting like a slice of the world's AI capacity. And then we're letting the like massively distributed human.
okay, he lost him at tokens. He lost it like, I don't know if they had this fucking conversation before. It wouldn't matter. Theo Von has no idea what he's talking about. Like, tokens means word. He has no idea what that means, right? I understand where he's going. He's basically saying that everybody uses AI and you need a certain amount of, credits, effectively, to use it for bigger tasks. And some people may decide they don't need it at all. It runs on, and their city does it, and you get these you get food delivery and all these other stuff that are sort of paid for and created by automation and robots and AI and all this stuff. So life becomes a lot easier. And then if there's any, that every citizen, because you contributed to it, you helped create it, whatever, you get you get a certain allotment of AI tokens you can use for other projects of your own creative works, your own design works, whatever the fuck you want to use it for, that isn't automatically free, above and beyond. And some people will use them and some people won't, and some people will give them away as gifts and stuff, and they'll be like, credits in a fucking Star Trek or a Star Wars movie. When people are buying and selling things with credits, that's what they're using, is that if you need something, you got a disease that you picked up on, Alpha Centauri, and you go there and you can stand in this thing, and it'll take the AI that finds cures for shit, a certain amount of tokens, and you would put those in and get zapped and whatever. That's what we're talking about. In like sci-fi, you would pay for it with those credits that allow you special access to make your own shit. And then everybody gets access to it in the baseline for whatever it needs. But if you run out of credits, you'd have extra ones. That's the thing. But these are Tokens are how you input it via words. And Theo has no fucking idea what he's talking about. And I get where he's going with it, but he's only thinking in terms of the financial aspect of the stuff that he does, not the physical element of it. And that's where we get into how quickly robotics gets on its feet and all that kind of stuff. And then it's a totally different
ingenuity and creativity and economic end.
If AI is the bong, the toker is the token, sure.
And do its thing. I mean, that's like a crazy idea. Maybe it's a bad one, but that's the kind of thing that I think sounds like someone should think about it more.
Okay, I will. I'll give it some thought. Sure. Because I know Theo Von isn't going to. This was 5 minutes of Theo Von's podcast talking with Sam Altman, the guy who runs OpenAI. Are we headed to the real Star Trek? Yes. Yes, we are. And again, there is no Star Trek or Star Wars or any of the futuristic sci-fi that we've ever seen without robots building buildings and structures and giant spacecraft and AI compensating for the science that we've been incapable of creating up to this point, period. What is my thoughts on Timbaland using AI as a musician he signed? I think it's a ridiculous marketing thing, and it doesn't matter. He just popped something into Suno, and it's bullshit. He just has it create beats, and he just doesn't have to pay anybody for the beats. But he owns the song. Like I'll give you an example. Like the song I use as my theme song, even the Scottish one right now, I wrote here, I'll show you. So this one, this one, nope, oh, sorry. This one, okay. So I decided I wanted a theme song like Fletch or Beverly Hills Cop for myself. So I went in and used an arpeggiator and some loops and some other stuff, and I made this, right? And so I wrote this, but I used bits and pieces and slapped it together and used different tools that were in there, and I created this song myself. I wrote this, right? And then I took this song and I put it in and I've been using that as my theme song for a while, and I put it into an AI and said, give me a classical version of it. Right? Okay. And then I had it do like a guitar. So these are effectively covers, like AI covers of songs of my song. Right? And then the Scottish one, because Trump went to Scotland and everybody, they were holding up their Nay Trump signs and all that. And since I am part Scottish, I had it come up with I fed my song into it and said, give me like a pipes and drums version. And this is what it kicked out. And I like it. But it's based on my song. It uses the bass line that's running in the other one. It does a drone note, and then it does, as it gets past this point, it goes into the melody. Right? Right? Okay, so, and I just went through and, where's the, I made a chill, like, version. Right? And so these are all, and this was the Beverly Hills Cop version, I think. Right? What program did he use to create his music? Oh, so I did the original, this one, in Logic. That's what I used to actually record my music. And then I freaked my dog out. He thinks it's time to go out. I'm sorry, Cindy. My bad. And I went through and I created just different variations of it just messing around, right? Just trying to make it, find ones. There's some that I had that I made and I didn't like them at all. And then in the case of, in particular, where is it? Okay, yeah, it is. That Trump was doing YMCA at the end of his. I don't have a Slayer version, but I do have. Where is it? Kind of this one. Right, and then the kidney song. So I'd write lyrics and then I would put them in there. And when we ran into the thing with Trump using YMCA at the end of his rallies, I couldn't play him because I get a copyright strike. And then, so I decided to write the song that everybody hears when they're seeing him do YMCA, which is...
I love that feeling. Zipper hoods have got the goods. Owie, owie, oh. Points and thongs and vests and thongs. Whoa, I love that feeling. Zipper hoods have got the goods. Owie, owie, oh.
Boink, boink, doobie doo. You know what I want to do. Yay! Boink, boink, doobie doo. You know what I want to do. Butt stuff. So, right? So I wrote that one so that it would be long enough that I could play it as a loop underneath YMCA or over top of YMCA when Trump was doing his stupid fucking dance, right? And then Couch Humping came out because, of the story, obviously, about J.D. Vance. Well, here, I cut it to the end. Couch Humping.
Couch humping. Jumping. Feel the beat. Feel the beat. Take it higher. Can't retreat.
Right? So I wrote lyrics for it, and then I did like 5 different versions and just crank them through. And some of them are just absolute shite, and some of them just kind of work, right? Some of them are okay. Some of them are just, are just, like, okay, that'll do. And what started me using them was the idea that I wanted, and this goes back to our WKRP, rest in peace, Lonnie Anderson, is that I've always wanted for my radio show on WCPT, I've always wanted like a WKRP in Cincinnati kind of intro. So
The House Sparks radio program, mega worldwide.
So I just went in and I was like, I want to make a few like transition jingles just for the show because I could never afford to do those for my show. I mean, I've been doing, not only, by the way, do I do my show on CPT for free, largely to help the station stay afloat because they get to sell my advertising and do whatever they want with it, but also for the sort of value add that I can give. It's like my tithe with my time, right? So WCPT in Chicago, right? So I always wanted a theme thing like that, but I don't have any extra money to throw that way. I got a kid, right? So this allows me to do that, take some work, take some fidgeting around, right? But I can have that element, and if I do come up with a joke, I can track my own song like Florida Man, or I can just jump into Suno and make something, and it depends on whatever value I put on it. If I think there's some permanence to it, then I will write my own. If it's meant to be a one-off gag that's going to be over in 2 days because of the news cycle, I'll throw it into AI, write some lyrics myself, mess around with it, see if I can come up with something worthwhile. If I can, I'll just go another way. Because I've done it a bunch, by the way. Those aren't the only songs I've written on there. And I've gone through a shit ton of really bad, I don't know, just like where just nothing came out, right? It was just kind of shit. Like, I tried over and over and it just doesn't get what I was trying to accomplish. So I just, squashed it. I'm trying to think if I put one of them in there that, This one, this is the sad violin music, which I love. Like this is so great to have, and it's copyright free, and I can use it for the sad Greg Kelly stuff. It, right? Works very well. But there were a couple of other ones. I think this one that it also did with the same kind of input from me, right? And I kept it. I downloaded it because I liked it for something, but it doesn't work for anything. It sounds like the beginning of an Evanescence song. Let's see. And then I did like these little things like,
That's not how it works.
you know, you've got it all wrong, right? I was trying to create like, you know, theme songs for parts of my stuff, you know, whatever. Anyways, so I took my real music and then I just did cover tunes of my own written song that I created in other styles that I could not afford to have done just for my little show here. If that makes sense. Yeah? Sounds like Air Supply, yeah. And then, of course, I don't even know if we've got, let's see if it's on here. 1 second.
You are watching house of worldwide. Glad you're along for the ride. Every day house here by your side. So please would you like and subscribe? Beware of the kidney.
The kidney has a very special place in the heart.
What the fuck? So, hi. Yeah. I did not booger off. No. Booger. Yes, it's very 28 days later. I agree. The kidney song. I now that I think about that, I didn't really put that together, but that's absolutely, yeah. The nephrologist song, right? Because it's showing, yeah. Oh, look at this. From Templeton Zarat. I'm sure Hal wouldn't watch this long form, but if he hasn't checked it out yet, I want to share the Cenk Uygur versus 20 Dems and Republicans. Oh my God. What a fucking waste of time. But I will look into it. I will watch it for you, Templeton. I will do that. So anyways, love you guys. I'll see you tomorrow. Take care of yourselves and take care of somebody else. What a day. Huh? All right. Let's see. What should I go out on? I feel like I'm feeling this one. All right. Hit that like, share the show. Come on. Yes, I use Suno for most of these things. Although I've messed with some other things too. That seems to be the most consistently stupid and funny.